Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on my eyebrows and how I shape them and pluck them. But before I get started, I just wanted to welcome you to the new setup I have here. I'm in my living room and I've turned it into my makeup studio so that when I have also clients, I just come into this lovely room. My desk is over there. Of course, this is my mirror that I'm sitting in front, and it's like a waiting room type of boudoir kind of thing. So this is where I'm going to be filming, and I am no longer going to have the white background, which is fine, I guess, because it was getting to be a little bit impersonal. So I think the lighting is okay. I had more lights on before and it was a bit too bright, but it'll do for, I think, the first video. So let's get started with the video. So today I'm going to be talking about my eyebrows, and my eyebrows get a lot of love from you all that follow me, because everybody says I have beautiful eyebrows. So I didn't even, actually, these are my natural eyebrows with nothing on. I'm just going to comb them. And normally I go out like this because, yeah, I don't really need to do anything. So many of you ask all the time, how to shape eyebrows and how I get these beautiful eyebrows. Well, these beautiful eyebrows I got because of my, parents. My dad had huge bushy eyebrows when he was young, and so did I. And it actually wasn't, nice growing up with a lot of eyebrows. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the States, New Jersey and Canada, and I was kind of made fun of my bushy eyebrows, especially because I didn't pluck back then because I was very young, but I just had a lot more than this, and there was no arch here, so it was like all straight basically, and I also had some in the middle. So I think I started plucking them in the middle, yeah, when I was in high school, when I was in Montreal in high school. And then I started plucking a little bit here on my brow bone, and it killed, but it did give more, definition to my eyes, because, to me, eyebrows are extremely important. And once I made a mistake when I was probably 16 or 17, I don't remember when. It was a period when Madonna came out with I think she was like doing the grunge look or something. Anyway, Madonna didn't have any eyebrows. She just had a thin line. So of course Madonna was my idol back then, and she's a wonderful woman, and we all know it. And when you're a teenager, you can tend to do stupidities, and so that's what I did, and I made my eyebrows extremely thin, and I looked terrible. My boyfriend at the time too was like, oh my god, no way, like, you look good with fuller eyebrows. Well, I did, and now I also do. So back, actually, when I was a little girl, my dad's friend, my dad's colleague used to call me Brooke Shields. I was around like, I don't know, 12 or 13. And my eyebrows were very similar to Brooke Shields, and also people used to say that my eye shape was very similar to Brooke Shields. But anyway, so I don't do much, all I do is that you always have to keep in mind is that, well, I think you all know that by now, but a fuller, thicker eyebrow is more youthful, and the thin eyebrows, forget it. You just want to stay away from, because it's aging, it's just not natural. You always definitely want to keep in mind that you should follow your natural eyebrow shape. I can talk about eyebrows for hours, but I think the most important thing is that the eyebrows that you have when you're young are the eyebrows that suit you most. And the part that is most important is the top part, because that's the shape that nature has given you, okay? So whether it's rounder or more like pointed or curved, that's what you should stick with, and maybe modify it a little bit, but you shouldn't change it completely, because that's what makes your eyes and your look like characteristic to you. So if you change it, then you have another type of like expression. Actually, that's what the word I was looking for. Like the expression is different. So, okay, I just zoomed in a bit for you. So what I tend to do is, well, to have perfect eyebrows, you have to pluck almost every day. But mine has become like an obsession. So these are the tweezers I have. They're, you know, I mean, I can tell you what type of tweezers they are, but the best, actually, oh, they're called xoxox. That's really weird. Anyway, I'll have all of the info on my blog with pictures and stuff. So yeah, these are the tweezers, and the ones that I prefer are the ones that are slanted like this and they come at a point, because when you do pluck, you can really get to the root of the hair. So what I do is I pluck my central eyebrows here, of course, and it's easy because you pull up. The ones on your brow bone, what you do is you want to pull a little bit the skin. I always pull the skin, grab it at the root, and then like as you're pulling, you also pull a little bit your skin, so it doesn't hurt that much. At the beginning, it will hurt a lot, and after your skin gets really used to it. So, you know, a tweezer is what you need, and my preference are the slanted ones. And every day, if you want to have perfect eyebrows every day, almost every day, because otherwise, even one eyebrow that is, you know, shouldn't be there makes the difference. At least for me, I have to have like awesome eyebrows. The mistake I did over the years is that my eyebrows I had a few like natural hairs that would grow under my normal line, and I plucked it all. Sometimes it's best not to pluck that if you want to have more of like a wild type of look, but here I have a very clean and neat line, and that's how I prefer it today, like nowadays. I don't like to have little hairs, although I see models that have like, you know, bushy eyebrows, and some of the few hairs that they have here, the makeup artist or the brow expert, whatever, leaves it because it's very natural looking. So as you can see, my eyebrows are not the same, even though over the years I've tried making them the same. And another thing that has happened over the years, it's more sparse. The only place that I can see less eyebrows is here, exactly where the arch goes, and that's where I fill it in. Otherwise, I could just leave it like that. My natural hair color is ash blonde, so I try and find and use a color that is like my hair color, but it's very difficult to try, even though I have found some eyeshadows. They're very close to my eyebrows. But now I don't mind because my hair is kind of a golden reddish highlight, so I don't mind using a more reddish color. And this is the quad that I used. Sometimes this is like my kind of eyeshadow quad, but also my eyebrow quad. This is wedge when I really want a natural look. Charcoal brown, which is what I'm going to use today, and then this is espresso. I used to use this all the time, and sometimes I add it in with wedge to give it a warmer feeling. But I know, and you shouldn't use anything that's red on your eyebrows, but sometimes it's okay because, you know, our hair kind of looks red, so it doesn't really matter. So what I do, the tools that I use, besides my spoolie, which is just a spoolie from Kiko, any spoolie will do, you know. I saw Mary Greenwell use a toothbrush, I saw her use a toothbrush, and I think that will do too. But anyway, you just want to comb it all up. I see Lisa Eldridge combing it down, filling it in. I can't stand that. I can't stand seeing my eyebrows like down, so I comb them all up, and as you can see, Over the years, they're getting a little bit more sparse, but I have very sharp angles. That's how I like it. Even though the top part of my eyebrows naturally is not this sharp. But I've tried keeping it, you know, nice and a little bit rounded. What you want to consider is that the perfect shape is a dove's wing, you know, so this would be the larger part going up gradually, getting thinner and then thinning out. So you can also do, Anastasia says that you can measure, you know, from the side of your nose, that's the beginning. Your iris is where the top point is, and then the side of your eye is where the eyebrow should finish. And if you look at my eyebrow, it's exactly how it should be. Like, so iris, the highest point, corner of the eye is where it finishes, and then next to the nose is where it starts. So you can definitely do that, or you can go with what you prefer. If you want to make your eyes you know, look wider and your nose look wider, or like make them look closer together. It really depends. You don't have to have natural eyebrows, and you don't have to follow what they say. It depends on what you want to look like at the end of the day. So, you know, if you have very close eyes, I would make my eyebrows start a little bit further out. If you have very far apart eyes, I would bring the eyebrows in. So, you know, those are the little tricks that you can do. But yeah, so if you want to fill in your eyebrows, you have to choose a kind of grayish color. But today I'm going to mix charcoal brown and wedge. But before, I'm going to use wedge because it's not that dark on me, and I'm going to create a shadow with my angled brush. I prefer using eyeshadow. I think it's way softer and more natural looking, and I use it with a MAC 266 angled brush. So I take my wedge, and what you would do is, if you didn't have any eyebrows, obviously you would try and duplicate the shape that you want, or this type of shape that elongates your eye. Anything you do anyway, you want to elongate your eye, even though this part of the eye is up to you whether you want to make it closer or further apart, but always you want to elongate your eye. I like my shape to be like a dove's wing. I like it with the angles. You can make it softer by rounding it out, but I don't. So what I do is, with my angled brush, I'm gonna look in the mirror. I just fill in this part, which is more sparse, and you will see that it does make a difference. So this is just wedge, and you probably can tell that it's not exactly my color. But already what you're doing is filling in here, which is the part where you want it to be darker, because here naturally, as you can see, my eyebrows naturally here are more sparse, and here they should be all like the same kind of thickness. Not always though. So what I do is I start here, and then I just do little like flicking motions, because it's almost impossible to have like how can I call it, like a, you know, to make little hairs. It's almost impossible. But what you want to do is that you want to definitely use this kind of movement, so that you are kind of blending as you're applying. So that's basically it. I'm gonna also apply the charcoal brown now, and like, this is the way I hold my brush. I don't hold it the other way around like this. So I'm just going to, let's see if I see better like this, yeah. Just going to put some more to make it more like dimensional, and then whatever's left on the brush, I just go further in and just leave this part maybe without anything. So you can see that I definitely have defined my eyebrows more. They still look very natural. concentrated most of the color here. And if you look at my eyebrow, this part on top is very straight because I've cleaned it. So what I do is I take a very, a scissor, a sharp scissor, and what I do is that I clean my top part with the scissor, just going like this and cleaning it. I do not pluck my eyebrows on top because, you shouldn't. And if you want them to grow back, they will with a scissor, they won't with a tweezer. So definitely I don't want any more to grow under my eyebrows or on my brow bone or in the middle. And I've been tweezing for years and they still grow back, but much less of course. But I never really pluck on top. I just clean it up and give the shape that I want. So I do it with the scissor, and I like mine to be very, very like straight, and you see that it's a straight line. So yeah, that's it basically. And so tweezers underneath, in the middle, scissors on top. The shape is like a dove's wing, or you can do the Anastasia thing, and always look more towards your natural eye shape, okay? I mean eyebrow shape, and that's the shape you want to stick with. And always try to elongate your eye by, maybe if your eyebrow stops here, always kind of tend to elongate a bit. Don't go far down. I hate it when I see women that kind of take this and go down because it closes your eye. Always try to bring it further out, don't close it in by rounding it off and going downwards. So never do that. So I will do my other eyebrow and I will be right back. Okay, so I also did the other eyebrow and I'm just gonna brush everything out. And as you can see, I've made this part a little bit thicker because it is thicker on this side. So I have to help it a bit and make it thicker. There's always one eyebrow that I like most and that you will like most. This is the eyebrow that I like most. But if you really look at it, this one is a little bit higher than this one. So what I do is, so I carefully brush it up. Whoops, I almost poked myself in the eye. And if there's any hairs that come too far up, and there are, I just cut them like this, and it gives a very sharp edge. Okay, and that's a little bit better. Okay, so that's a little bit better. It came down just a tad, but and what ends up happening is that it looks very sharp, but I like that sharpness, so that's why I cut it. If you don't like that, don't cut it, or if you do want to cut it, just hold your scissors like this and don't cut it this way, but cut it vertically so that it has more of a softer look. And that's it. That's my eyebrows. That's how you can do them. There are no rules. You can do whatever you want, but please, please, please don't have thin eyebrows and don't fill them in too much that they look solid, because it's horrible and I hate it. And I have this thing about eyebrows. I'm obsessed ever since I was young. You have to have a nice full eyebrows, and many women make this mistake, and it's a shame. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I'm sure there's many other eyebrow tutorials, but this is also to share my natural eyebrows with you, since you always like them. And yeah, that's it guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you very shortly with another video. Bye guys.